Today we're taking a look at these NCAAF matches, which are happening on Saturday, September 25, 2021, and giving you match breakdowns, betting tips and predictions in general on these games. Welcome back to High Stakes, let's get straight into it. Also, don't forget to subscribe to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos, and if you would like more betting tips and predictions, then check out our Patreon in the link down below. Our new Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. 5 plans are available for each and every one of you. You can get 30 extra betting picks all the way up to 270 extra betting picks per month. Stop wasting hours of your time searching for bad betting advice that ends up costing you a lot of money. Join the High Stakes Patreon now and get the best betting picks and advice. Nebraska vs Michigan State. The Huskers are led by junior QB Adrian Martinez, 1,017 yards 5 TD 1 int, who is also the team's leading rusher with 290 yards and 4 TD, averaging a legit 5.7 yards per carry. In the loss to OU, he passed for 289 yards with a TD and a pick, but failed to get much going on the ground with 34 rushing yards on 17 carries. Martinez has some solid targets with 5 players with at least 103 receiving yards, led by Samori Toure, 333 yards 2 TD, who is averaging 20.8 yards per reception, but only had 27 yards on 3 catches in the Sooners game. Marquis Stepp is the lead RB with 128 yards, but struggled in the OU game, and third leading rusher Gabe Ervin Jr. was injured in the last game and is out for this one. Our first betting advice is to pick Michigan State, -5. Peyton Thorne has stepped up in a big way at quarterback for the Spartans, throwing for 9 touchdowns in just 3 games, and is yet to throw an interception. He's also added a touchdown on the ground, but Kenneth Walker is the real focal point of the offense. He's averaging an absurd 164.33 rushing yards per game and might be the top back in the country. He's added 5 touchdowns as well, and the balance of the offense has been difficult for anyone to slow down this year. The Spartans rank 29th in football in points per game, and Walker is putting up his numbers with an offense that is ranked only 54th in rushing attempts per game. Expect a heavy dose of the running game on Saturday as they try to wear down the Nebraska front 7 and pick their spots to take their shots downfield. Jayden Reed is averaging 92.33 receiving yards per game and has 3 touchdowns, and if the Cornhuskers aren't careful, he'll be able to break 1 deep. Our second betting at Tennessee vs Florida. The Tennessee Volunteers defense has been doing incredibly well this season as they are allowing 15.7 points per game so far. Looking at their last game against the Tennessee Tech Golden Eagles, they did not give up any points on just 179 yards of offense, 144 passing, 35 rushing. They also were excellent on third downs as the Golden Eagles were held to just 4 of 17 on third down and failed to convert their only 4th down attempt. The secondary was incredible as they forced 4 interceptions as well in this game. If they can figure out how to carry that momentum, they can be a big threat here. Our first betting advice is to pick Florida, -20. Florida's offense has been consistent, but not overpowering this season, but given they have already played Alabama, the offense could flourish in games like Saturday's. They rank 44th in FBS in points per game, but need to become more efficient in the red zone, only scoring 75% of the time they get in there. Against Tennessee, that might be good enough, but won't work over the course of the entire season. Emory Jones looked sharp against Alabama, but it's still unknown if he is the long-term answer at quarterback. He's tossed 2 touchdowns compared to 5 interceptions and is averaging 77 yards per game on the ground. Richardson's availability remains the key question. After missing last week, he still leads the team with 275 total rushing yards, averaging 137.50 a game. He seems to bring a different dynamic to the offense, and Tennessee isn't at a point yet with the athletes on the defensive side to slow him down. Regardless of who gets the majority of the snaps at quarterback, Mullen finally has built out this offense to a level where they will be able to take care of the Tennessees of the world with relative ease, especially at home. This offense won't have any trouble moving the ball on Saturday, and the Gators will continue to show why they believe they're a top team in the country. Our second betting advice is to pick over 63. Quick reminder, Bovada is an online sportsbook and casino established in 2011. The platform offers betting on all major sport and horse racing leagues. It has slots, table games, blackjack, and a variety of other casino games. All of the major US leagues are available for betting, including the NFL, NBA, NHL, MLB, and PGA. In addition, Bovada allows wagers on esports, Olympic events, soccer, cricket, boxing, cycling, and many more competitions. Join Bovada now using our link down below and get access to all sorts of premium sport welcome bonuses after signing up and making your first deposit. Navy vs Houston. But from where is that additional production going to come? Navy could not run the ball or pass the ball very effectively against Marshall, who athletically is inferior to the talent level at Houston. Meanwhile, Marshall runs a spread offense that mixes in the running game as a secondary option, moved the ball pretty much at will against Navy, en route to scoring 44 points. Our first betting advice is to pick Houston -20. Toon has completed 70.7% of his passes for 472 yards with 4 TDs and 5 picks. Receiver Nathaniel Dell, 5-10, 155, leads with 22 catches for 301 yards and 3 TDs. McCaskill leads the running game with 159 yards and 4 TDs. Houston is averaging 36.7 points per game, 227 passing yards, 71st, and 128.3 rushing yards, 101st. They are led by their defense, which allows just 230 yards per game, 6th, 122 passing yards, 3rd, and 108 rushing yards, 39th. Our second betting advice is to pick over 49. Kansas State vs Oklahoma State. In the win over Nevada, Kansas State won in the trenches. They held Nevada to 25 yards rushing and gained 269 yards on the ground themselves. But while Kansas State was good against the run, they struggled against the pass as Nevada threw for 306 yards. Cowboys quarterback Will Howard only threw 10 times, completing 7 passes for 123 yards and 1 touchdown. Most of those yards came on one play, a 68-yard touchdown pass to Daniel Imatorbib. But Howard rushed for 56 yards and 2 touchdowns. Also, Deuce Vaughn ran for 127 yards and a touchdown, while Joe Irvin rushed for 82 yards and 1 touchdown. Our first betting advice is to pick Kansas State Wildcats +6. For the year, Oklahoma State is 101st in the nation in passing offense, with 190 yards per game, while they are 78th in rushing offense, with an average of 146.7 yards per contest. The Cowboys are 98th in the FBS in scoring offense, with 24 points per game, and 51st in scoring defense, by allowing an average of 19.7 points per contest. Shane Illingworth is 22 of 40 passing for 315 yards with 1 touchdown and 1 interception. Spencer Sanders is 21 of 39 for 255 yards with 2 touchdowns and 1 interception. He is second on the team in rushing with 102 yards plus 2 scores. The run game has struggled with LD Brown, 28 carries, 58 yards, TD, and Jalen Warren, 52 carries, 264 yards, 4 TD, failing to generate much in the way of yardage prior to the Boise State win. Brennan Presley leads the team with 9 catches for 125 yards. Jaden Bray, 6 grabs, 136 yards, TD, and Tay Martin, 6 receptions, 107 yards, TD, are also over the century mark for receiving yards this season. Alex Hale is 9 of 10 on extra point attempts and is 1 of 2 on field goal attempts, with a long of 35 this season. Our second betting advice is to pick under 46. Good luck to all of you. That's it for this video. Stay tuned and stay safe for the next betting tips and advice.